Hello and welcome to the very humble beginnings of this channel. It looks like it's going to take months before I can make decent video tutorials, but I really want to show you what these miniatures actually look like. So as a stopgap measure, I'm going to make test videos while I'm learning the ropes of filming and editing. Before I go on, I would like to point out that I can only work for very short periods of time because of a medical condition. This project keeps me going, but at a very slow pace. Toothpick Miniatures is about making miniatures by yourself at no cost. I made this project for all those who can't afford to buy commercial miniatures but would nevertheless like to have another option. There is a free booklet that you can download at the website referenced above. It will provide you with all the information you need to make your own miniatures. Today we'll have a look at the hover moped, which is still in the prototype phase but is a good example of toothpick miniatures design principles. The inspiration for this vehicle is the Flying Flea, a light motorcycle that was used by the British in World War II for communication duty on the battlefield. It will take a lot of time and patience to make a miniature replica of the Flying Flea, even more so if we are going to use very basic materials. When you're not spending money, it means you're spending time, and so we have to keep this expense at a reasonable level. In a miniature wargame, you want to be able to identify vehicles easily. In this case, the hover moped must have features that one associates with a light motorcycle, such as two wheels, a light frame, an engine of some sort, a saddle, and a steering handle. This also applies to the miniature soldier. You want his general outlook to be recognizable as a human being. You'll want to identify the weapon he's carrying, the distinctive insignia of his country or service, and any other relevant information, such as equipment or rank. We can clearly see that this is not an ordinary vehicle. Its shape is quite simplified compared to a real moped, and it seems there is also some anti-gravity technology involved. The reason behind this is that the closer we get to the real-world designs, the more difficult it becomes to make it look right, especially when using basic materials. What we need is a forgiving setting in which design shortcuts are acceptable. The technological setting I chose here is a fantasy early Cold War universe in which we can take a few liberties with designs and other things, for instance uniforms. The French sailor hat hasn't been used in combat since World War II, but in this setting it is useful because it provides a colorful visual clue instead of a more generic green hat. Hats are also preferred because helmets are difficult to make. The same considerations apply to wheels. A hover dish is easier to make than a wheel. We are also limited by the materials we can find for free. In this design, the frame has been made from a double-wire metal clip. We cut off a slim section at one end to allow us to extract the wires, then we perforated the plastic part using a hole puncher. That hole allows us to use a jig, with which we can cut the plastic part to standardized dimensions, should we want to create several identical hover mopeds. The hover dish has been cut from milk packages seals, which happen to have interesting visual features. Using a strip of cardboard, I made a compass with which I could scrape the surface of the seal. I then used nail scissors to cut along that scraped line. Whenever possible, I try to use mechanical ways to assemble parts. As you could already figure out by watching some of my miniatures, glue tends to be messy, and this mess tends to be visible. Furthermore, glue doesn't work well with some materials, such as the plastic of this milk package seal. Here I used the wire from the double wire clip to connect the hover dish to the frame. The wire itself is being held to the hover dish by loops of thin wire, which go through holes I have pierced with using a thin pin. That's it for now. I am still working on the design of this vehicle as well as on the design of a whole motorcycle. Once these designs are complete, I will write a booklet and publish it on my website. Thank you for watching and have fun!